What up, all my Mingas, and welcome to the Minga Sports Podcast. I'm Nacho.
I'm Garuta.
Welcome. It's after AFC and NFC Championships, so we got
We got two games to go through.
mm-hmm.
After we get through some news.
Some news.
There's been today, I don't know, like all of this happened today.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. Thomas Edward Brady II officially
Thomas
retired.
Edward Patrick Brady.
Is it Edward Patrick?
Yeah.
I thought it was just Edward Brady. The second has officially retired from the NFL. And Nacho, I'm sure you have a lot to say about this as he was your quarterback.
He was my quarterback for so
I'll let you
long.
have your minute.
Before you talk about Eli, yeah, it was great having Tom Brady, for as long as we did. You know, obviously after we signed Drew Bledsoe to a lot of money, we got this kid from California being like, I'm the best player on this roster, and then it turns out he was, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, he gave us six Super Bowls, 9 appearances. That's pretty darn cool. Nobody will ever wear 12 in a Patriots jersey ever again.
Yep.
Very happy for what he's done for us. I'm sure the Bucks are also happy for what they did for him. Good, he won another Super Bowl with a different team. I would have loved to see him retire in a Patriots jersey, but hey, it's his legacy. He can do whatever he wants.
I got really great news for you because he signed a 1-day contract with the Patriots so he can retire a Patriot.
Is this a bit?
No, this isn't a bit. This is actually happening.
Wait, what?
He's going to sign a 1-day contract so that he can retire as a Patriot.
Wait, what? That's cool.
You got so happy.
Is this a bit?
No, this isn't a bit. I saw this like, oh fuck, I don't remember what page it was on, but I just
Where'd you
saw
see
it?
it? I'll go find it.
I was on Instagram. Oh man, I don't remember.
It sounds like a bit, but
it's not a bit. It's a real thing. I swear. Let me.
It is a bit. I just saw. I just looked it up. Yeah, it's a bit.
That's sad.
Which, to be fair, him and BB aren't the greatest of friends, so it's not a surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, he retired a Patriot. Honestly, like, it's hard to look back on it because when you think of Peyton,
I found it.
When you think of Peyton Manning, you think of Broncos, and I don't know if this is just me. It says plans to. This is CBS Sports though, so that's a maybe. I don't know if he does. That's really cool.
I think he should. I don't see why he wouldn't.
No, he did. I am a little very salty that in his Instagram post saying that he didn't say I'm retiring. He said he's gonna step away. He didn't mention the Patriots, which he could have been like, I had like a whole thing when I left the Patriots, so I already said thank you. But also, you are retiring, so you could say thank you again. But yeah, it's kind of weird. It's a new era of football. I've always had Tom Brady. I mean, I guess the last 2 seasons I haven't had him, but
yeah,
it's like it's now like settled in that I don't have Tom Brady anymore. It's weird. I mean, I think for my entire life, same quarterback. So
I think you're 100% right on the new era of football. Breeze retired last year. Rivers retired last year.
Big Ben just retired.
Eli was 2 years before. Like
A-Rod, maybe. Aaron might.
Rodgers is a possibility. Like all of these superstar quarterbacks who we have grown up with them.
Yeah.
Like Brady was in the league before
Brady won a
We
Super
were
Bowl
born.
before I was a fetus.
I was born when he
Actually,
won the
that's a
Super
lie,
Bowl.
but
I was born because he technically won it in 2002. So I was born. Um,
I would have been an embryo.
you were but an egg.
Yeah. My
But
birthday's in November for context, so I would have had to been conceived in February.
um, but yeah. So Brady retiring really brings in the new era. He's gonna sort of pass the torch to Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, all these young quarterbacks that are gonna take the league by storm. Kyler
Which
Murray.
they've already been here and already have done their thing, and have been taking over the NFL. But now it's like officially their turf.
Yeah, there's not gonna be any more
Pun
old guys.
intended. Yeah.
I wanna give you a guess. Who do you think the longest tenured or the longest active quarterback is right now? Or the oldest active quarterback, I should say. Who do you think it is right now?
You're saying because you say that so confidently, I don't think it's gonna be Aaron Rodgers, so I'm gonna have to think
It's
someone
not.
else.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Uh, it's gotta. Is it a backup?
Um, yes and no.
Uh, it's not Fitz, is it?
It is Fitz.
Is it? How long has he been in the league for?
I want to say he was like an 03,
Uh,
02 maybe.
um, I'll tell you in a second.
Um,
05.
he's an 05 draft pick.
Yes.
Oh, that's the same class as Rodgers. Yeah, it's the same class as Rodgers. It's just he was a senior. He decided to get an education at Harvard. But yeah, a lot of younger quarterbacks are going to start taking over the game. And now when you think of like the old quarterbacks, you're going to have to start talking about Rodgers and Matt Ryan, Matthew
How
Stafford.
long has Matt Ryan been playing?
Matt Ryan was in the 08 draft, 07?
Oh wait, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. So like you're gonna start thinking of like those guys now as
Oh,
like the old quarterbacks, and it's like, oh, this is weird.
I got something to show. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's see what this is.
His official nickname on Pro Football Reference is Matty Ice.
That's what we like to
And I
see.
think that's hilarious.
That's what we like to see. Um, so yeah, Brady retired. Big sad. In other news,
Thank you, Tom.
uh, yeah, the NFL's getting sued. This news dropped probably like 5 hours ago, maybe 6. Um,
Yeah. It's quite the suit.
yeah. So Brian Flores, former
Yeah.
coach of the Miami Football Dolphins, was originally suing because of an incident with my Giants, and boy, I think it's Belichick's revenge. I told you this, right?
Yeah, I made a joke about it.
Yeah. Um. So essentially, what the gist of it is the Rooney Rule, which was introduced in 2003, which makes sure that teams have to hire a minority candidate, or not hire, they have to interview a minority candidate when interviewing for a head coach or for a coach coordinator or uh, front office role. And so a lot of teams they do exploit this. It's like very clear. It's very easy to exploit this. Um because you could just be like, "Oh, yeah, I'll have you in for an interview," and then they'll just do the interview and just never touch them back. Never be like, "Oh, we don't have to follow up anymore." Um and so an incident happened last week with the Giants, and we had apparently already hired Brian Daboll, the Bills' offensive coordinator, before we had even interviewed Brian Flores. And Belichick apparently knew about this. I don't know how, but Belichick knew about it, and he texted Brian. He texted Brian, "Hey, congrats on getting the New York job," thinking it was Daboll, but it was indeed Flores. So, he was kind of like, "Huh? I hope I get it. I haven't interviewed yet." And then Belichick's like, "I fucked up. Thought you were Daboll." And now there's a lawsuit.
Which we were joking of, oh, hey, congrats, Brian, not Flores. Oh, I am Brian Flores. Oh, you are? Whoopsie daisy. Didn't mean to do that.
I might have made an oopsie. No, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it were deliberate, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't at the same time.
Yeah, it could honestly just be an honest mistake, but it also could have been BB being like, hey,
Fuck
funny.
the Giants.
Yeah. Also, the Dolphins owner, is it Stephen or Stephen Ross?
Stephen Ross.
Stephen Ross. I'm reading the name, so that's why I asked. Offered him to pay $100,000 for every game they lost in 2019, which was the tank for Tua season.
They got Tua anyways.
They got Tua anyway.
Why does it matter? Oh, that's funny.
But they, you know, and every time Brian won a game, because he was like, no, I'm not gonna lose games on purpose, they got very upset with him, which caused, you know, front office issues, because they were like, well, fuck you, you're not tanking.
And there were even more front
because they didn't get
issues.
the first overall pick.
Yeah, there were more offseason issues with Flores because he wanted Deshaun Watson, and front office was like, no. And then Flores is like, can we please have Deshaun Watson? I mean, Tua's not, you know, great. He's no Deshaun Watson, but he's just okay. And the front office was like, you're fired, just straight up. So
because they like Tua.
Yeah, because they want to develop a quarterback instead of just be like, ooh, sex offender, gimme. But yeah, Flores is suing, I think, the NFL and all 32 teams.
No, I thought it was just the Giants and the Dolphins and
Broncos. I saw a couple different things. I saw it. I'm looking right now. It's all 32 teams in the NFL. Because he stated at least all of the teams in their he stated all of the teams in their the lawsuit.
Mm-hmm. And I could see this going both ways. I could see this going in his favor because, you know, it's kind of obvious that there's some fuck ups. But I can also see the NFL pushing this under the rug, which, you know, classic, very high business thing to do.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see because I don't think Flores is going to want to settle this either.
No, and he also said, like, you know, I love coaching football. It's like, you know, it's given me and my family everything, but I'm willing to risk it to, you know, get my point across.
And yeah, there's a chance. There's a big chance he never coaches again after this.
But I feel like it's kind of a risk you have to take at this point, just given his situation, and obviously if he, you know, wins the suit, it'll look a lot better for him. So
yeah, I'm not. So the Giants did hire Daboll, I think, like, I don't remember, sometime last week. I'm not upset about that. I am a little, like, pissed off we didn't give Flores a good opportunity, is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as Flores got fired, I've said this on the show. Can he come to New York? Like he led a Dolphins team that didn't have a lot of star power on it to like a 10-win season in 2020. And then they still didn't have too much star power. They had injuries. They started out terrible and then led them back on an 8-game win streak, and they finished with I think 8-9, 9-8. I think they finished positive.
What are you talking about?
The Dolphins in
This season?
2021. Yeah.
I want to say 9-8.
I think they finished 9-8. So they finished over 500. 19 wins in 2 seasons is not bad. And then he gets fired for just disagreeing with the management, because Miami management they have been known to not be the greatest. Of course, because they're right down the road from Jacksonville. But I was like, why not take a chance on him? I think it'd be a great hire. And then not giving him a fair chance, I'm not the biggest fan of that. And also the rules just need to be changed in general.
How do you mean?
But I don't know. Well, the Rooney Rule is kind of just bullshit.
Really. Yeah.
Like, I totally 100% agree with that you should be considering minority candidates in any hire.
Of course.
But the way that they implemented it is terrible. It's just, you must interview one of them. And it's like, okay, I can already have my head coach picked out, but I can just interview them now. And just call it that, have a sham interview. Because Flores said he had one with the Broncos where all of the front office people who were going to interview him had clearly been heavily drinking the night before. He said in his interview in like 2019. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about John Elway. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I think they should change it, but I don't know what to.
That'll yeah, that's I couldn't tell you what to change it to, but that definitely needs to get addressed, and definitely needs to. There's a lot of stuff with the NFL that needs to get changed.
Yeah. Other news that's not on the dock. Caleb Williams out of Oklahoma is transferring to USC to be with Lincoln Riley once again. And I'm just like, wow, I hate college football. Everyone's just transferring because they fucking feel like it. And then I had one other thing, but I just forgot it.
We can always go back to it.
We can always go back.
Now talking,
there were games.
Yes, let's get into our games. Now we can't really pick best and worst because there's only 2. I mean, we could, but we're just gonna.
Let's go with our best of the week. It's gonna be Cincinnati and Kansas City,
which is the first one on the dock.
It was I think it was actually the better game out of the 2.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I didn't get to watch a lot of it because I was at work.
This is the one I kind of watched because I was it started at like 3, I think, and I got to watch a lot of it before I went to work, and then I had my phone out the whole time on ESPN, like, and it tells you what happened in each play and draws a little thing for you. So I was doing that all the way through work, and then at the ending I watched it.
I wanted to watch it, and I was like, I really hope my strict manager isn't here today. And then my strict manager was there, so I couldn't have my phone out.
Oh, that was I only had my actual manager there.
Yeah, that was my actual manager.
And I just did it anyways.
It was like 2:45 or something, and I was like, hey, I'm like, I was talking with some friends before who were into it. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask her if I can watch it. And they're like, no, don't. I'm like, why? She likes me. It's okay. And it's like 2:45, and I'm like, hey, can I watch at 3:00? Can I watch the game? And she's like, yeah, I knew there was a big game on today, but unfortunately you can't. But what I would recommend is take a break at this time so that way you can see the end of the first half. And then I'll let you out a little early so you can watch the rest at home.
Oh, that's sick.
And I'm like, goated. And my friends were just back there, just in shock. They're like, I cannot believe you did that and also kind of got away with it.
That's like actually go to manager right there.
Yeah. So I took a break and I watched the 2-minute drill. So I watched the Bengos score a touchdown off of like a screen pass. And it's like, oh wow, they're still kind of getting blown out. And then Mahomes drove down the field. I'm like, please tell me he doesn't score here. And then they're at the 1 yard line. They throw a screen to Tyreek, and Eli Apple of all people blows it up. So good on that. And then I watched the overtime on my car ride home. And overtime was good. And by good I mean, what the fuck did Mahomes do at halftime?
What the fuck did Mahomes do in the second half?
Yeah, so I'm saying like at halftime, like he played
well.
Yeah. He played so well the first quarter, and then just did not show up in the second. I think his quarterback rating in the second half was like a 3 or something terrible.
Yeah, he just did not. Yeah. And I mean, Chiefs is gonna haunt you for a while. Was it 21-3?
Yeah, it was 21-3.
Yeah, that's gonna haunt them. That's it's not amazing to have that happen and then have Money McPherson hit another game winner on you.
Dude, Money McPherson is such a good kicker.
Actually,
I think he's gonna become one of those names that's gonna be like a Justin Tucker, or like who's a big kicker right now? I don't know. I think he's gonna be one of the next big kickers, just because he's got like a lot of swagger to him, you know.
He does have a lot of swagger to him.
So
he really said, "Hey, we're going to the AFC Championship."
Man, that's crazy. We're going to the AFC Championship game before he even kicks it.
They didn't say anything, but imagine him going like, "Hey, Joe, looks like we're going to the Super Bowl."
I was hoping he did. I was like, I can't believe we made it to the Super Bowl.
He may have said it, but probably not to Joe, because Joe didn't say anything.
Oh yeah, yeah, great kicker.
Very confident kicker.
I think Cincinnati is just such a well-rounded team.
And it's weird because the Bengals should not even be in this position right now. They're still in a rebuild. Their defense was not supposed to be playing as good as it is. They're, we were just talking about Eli Apple has really stepped up into his role. He was not supposed to be this, good corner on this, again, rebuilding defense.
He's still not a good corner.
Well, he does enough.
Eli Apple is not a good corner. I'll stand by that until the day I die. He was on the Giants. He got burned by Tyreek at some points in this game.
My point is, this is a team in a rebuild, and they should not be in the place that they are, but they are, and that's kind of cool.
That is cool. I agree.
I mean, I had said that I didn't think the Bengals were going to win, but I was rooting for them, which is cool because they won.
I wanted the Bengals to win because I didn't want to see Jackson Mahomes twerk at the Super Bowl.
Or Mahomes making a dynasty. I feel like if Mahomes went to this game without Tom Brady in his way, there's not much stopping the Chiefs after that.
I think now that Tom Brady's gone, there's not gonna be a dynasty. I think that the league right now is so competitive. I don't think there's a single team that can really form a dynasty. There's gonna be a couple teams that are gonna be very good for like a very long time, but I don't see one team owning and destroying like the Patriots did. Like they made it to how many straight AFC championships? Was it like 10 or 11, something like that?
Yeah. I don't know. I
And
don't
then
know, but yeah.
like something ridiculous. I don't think there's going to be a team that's like that. The Chiefs are now going to be in contention with the Bengals and the Bills and the Ravens if they're healthy and the Titans. And even in their own division, the Chargers are on the come up. Like the Colts are, they try sometimes.
And not to get like too ahead of myself, but the Patriots did way
Yeah.
better this year than we thought
No,
they
the
were going to.
the Patriots are trending upwards, and like I the Chiefs were the closest to a dynasty when they won a Super Bowl. I don't I think the last 2 years were their best opportunity to cement it before everything else starts going. Because a lot of these teams are in the AFC are on the come up with good young quarterbacks.
That's true because if they won last year, which God, that was such an abysmal game,
Yeah.
and they won this year, which they should have, the Mahomes just played like shit. No way around that. In the second half, he played like shit. They should have won this game
Oh
easy.
yeah.
They lost by a field goal. Like you had a lot of time.
They should have scored a touchdown at the end of the first half.
Oh
They were
God, yeah.
they could have kicked the field. They could have kicked the field goal. They would have won this game. They could have, you know, not thrown a screen. Mahomes said, "I got it. I want it. I want it." Before they ended up kicking it, and or before they ended up running the play, and it's just like, just take the points. You're gonna need the points. You don't have to go fully aggressive, but
Yeah.
analytics.
So hypothetically, say if the Chiefs, won this year, won the AFC Championship and could have won the Super Bowl. We're saying hypothetically here. That's 3 Super Bowls again if they, even competed last year. Hypothetically, 3 Super Bowls, back to back.
Appearances, yeah.
Um, that would have kind of been it because yeah, you're right. Next year the Bills could have just a little bit better of a game than the Chiefs did because oh God, that was such a good game. But
Depending on like free agency and drafts, right now the big dogs in the AFC, I think the Bills can easily beat the Chiefs. The Bengals, they've shown it. They've beat them twice this year.
in
I think
comebacks,
in comebacks, I think the Titans could compete. The Chargers, I think, are gonna give the Chiefs a run for the money in the division.
mm-hmm.
Hell, maybe even the Raiders, depending on how their offseason goes.
Well, they do have Josh McDaniels.
They do have Josh McDaniels as a head coach now. That's true. Apparently, the first thing he said to the Raiders owner Mike Davis was, "That was a fumble," referring to the Tuck rule in 2001. And I was a big fan of that.
um,
I think the Patriots and the Colts are on the come up. The Colts could have done really well if they had a quarterback not named Carson Wentz this season.
I tried all season. I was like, Carson's gonna pull through. Carson's gonna, because he at one point they were like, this is the best this is the best player in the league. Carson was like this, MVP
He was an
player.
MVP candidate the year he was injured.
Yeah,
The year he got injured and went to the Super Bowl, and then ever since then he's just never been the same.
which is obviously sad, but what's happened? Carson's just gonna be stuck as a backup now.
I don't know, stuck as a backup. I think he's good enough to be a starter. I don't think he's good enough to bring his team anywhere on his own.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I'm saying if someone's better than him, like if there's someone
yeah,
available, they're gonna take whoever over Carson. But and also
Rodgers to the Colts.
I know people have been saying like him to the Broncos heavily. I think him to the Colts is actually a good idea for him.
Him to the Colts would be such a.
The Colts is a Super Bowl ready team.
They're
a
one piece that
quarterback away.
They no, I really think they are a quarterback away because you look at the Colts, you're like, all right, they have the best offensive line in football. I think the only team competing with the Colts for the best offensive line right now is the Browns, because the
Mm-hmm.
Browns have a really good offensive line.
The receivers, I wouldn't say they're the best in the league, but they're
I would
certainly good.
I would say Pittman, T.Y. Hilton, Paris Campbell, Zach Pascal, Ashton Doolin, like that. Those are like like they're underrated names. Some of them,
Mm-hmm.
like Pittman and Ty, are like very good. They're known. And then Paris Campbell, Zach Pascal are on the come up. I think they're underrated in my opinion. And Ashton Doolin is great on special teams, as well as, just being that receiver that kind of just gets away from people. Um, and then Jack Doyle and Mo Alley Cox, tight ends, are also very good. And then you obviously have Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines, and Marlon Mack at running back. Like, this team is very, very good.
And that's not we even didn't talk about their defense. Their front four so good.
Kwity Paye, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart,
Oh,
very good. Darius Leonard and Okereke at and Zaire Franklin, linebackers. I think the only thing lacking from them is their secondary. They have Kenny Moore, who is a Pro Bowler. They have Andrew Sendejo, he's good. Xavier Rhodes, who's an old veteran, but he's probably retiring soon. And that's about it for their secondary. But other than that, like, they're a good team. That's just one position away.
honestly,
Cough,
yeah.
cough.
If Rodgers wants to win, another ring, that's not a bad place to go. And I don't get why you'd want to go to Denver. Honestly, because that's such a tough division. You're going from winning your division easily to going to have to fight your ass off.
Oh, if Rodgers is on the Colts, it's like you get 2 free wins against the Texans every year. You get 2 free wins against the Jags. You'll probably take at least one against the Titans.
Yeah, you'll probably go 1-for-1 with the Titans.
Yeah. If you go to Denver, you lose to Kansas City twice a year. You probably lose to the Chargers twice a year.
And the Raiders, you might go
Raiders,
1-for-1.
Yeah, who do the Raiders have? They have Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, Noah Fant. It's not the worst team.
I think there's better options for him, especially because the Bucks don't have a quarterback named right now.
Oh yeah. Well, the Bucks also have a lot of people going to free agency.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the thing with the Bucks: they didn't build a team; they bought a team.
That is true.
They saw a bunch of guys on free agency,
which is what the NFL is now. If some guy's open, they're just gonna go buy him. Which is why teams run out of money, because they see players and they're like, okay, here's 4 years, 100 million. You down?
Yeah, and the Bucks used to be a team where it's like, oh, would you like to come here? And they're like, no, thanks. And then Brady showed up, and then everyone's like, ooh, let's go to the Bucks. Let's go to the Bucks. So they signed all these guys on 2-year deals. And then they won the Super Bowl. Then they signed everyone back for another 1 or 2 year deal. And then now Brady's gone. So there's so much less appeal for the Bucks right now. And they're going to be losing a couple of their guys. So I don't think people are going to want to go back.
And also, that's the time. What's going to happen to Gronk? He's only
retiring. There's no shot Gronk plays another year.
I was going to say he's only had Brady as his quarterback, except when Garoppolo had to step in for a little bit. But I think Gronk retires. I mean, he's already retired once. He got traded to the Lions.
Wait, what?
What? You didn't know about that?
No, I didn't know about that.
Oh, so he said this on air. But he was thinking about retiring, and the Patriots traded him to the Lions.
So he retired?
I don't remember what for, and then he got on the phone with the Lions. I'm like, I don't know, and the Patriots, and they're like, I don't know how you just traded me because I'm retired. and he got out of the he got out of the trade, and then he retired.
That's so funny. I'm a big fan of that.
He didn't want to go to Detroit, so he retired. And yeah,
That's
I don't
that's
think
awesome.
I think he retires. I think he's done. I mean, you know, in my opinion, greatest tight end of all time.
I don't know about I all right. I don't know about greatest tight end of all time because uh
It's
like he's
a little bit of
always been
bias, but
yeah, he's always been injured. He's only had Brady as his quarterback. Like I don't know if you can call someone the greatest if they've played with only the greatest quarterback of all time and they're just like half of their years were just like filled with injury where he didn't play all 16 games or 17 games now, but I don't know. I don't think you can call him the greatest. For me, the greatest tight end of all time would still be Tony Gonzalez.
that's a fair argument. But I feel like Gronk is in the argument for greatest tight end.
I think he's in the argument. I'd probably put him top 5. I don't know if I'd put him number 1 though. We should do that. We should do
We can do that.
Our own NFL 100
Oh,
on
look forward to Minga in the off
season.
season. But
That'd be cool.
enough about let's wrap up the game.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the AFC
Cincinnati,
Championship.
Great win. I mean, I think they have a good future considering again they are still in a rebuild.
Technically, I think they're out.
I think they're close to being out of it. I don't think they're out of it.
Well, we'll see.
Um,
I think this is a fun stat. The Bengals have never lost an AFC Championship game, but they have also never won the Super Bowl.
Well,
So
they've never had
really
Joe Cool,
stat.
Joe Shiesty,
They
Joe
did not have Joe
Burr.
Shiesty. What is it? If he wins the Super Bowl, he's gonna be the first ever quarterback to win the Heisman, the college national championship, and the Super Bowl. And the only people who have won, I don't know if it's the Heisman or the national championship. It might just be the national championship and the Super Bowl, were Joe Montana and Joe Namath. So even if he wins it, it's a Joe club.
Yeah. But moving on to the other game, because there certainly was another game. I think this would go down, and that certainly was a game.
I think if there were more games played and we had our best worst, this would certainly be a game.
San Francisco at Los Angeles Rams. Rams taking it 20-17. What happened? This was supposed to be okay, like on paper, this was supposed to be like a blowout. The San Fran plays really gritty, tough football, but with, Sean McVay's all-in offense, I feel like they should have done a little bit better than they did.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot. I didn't watch the first half of this game. I saw one play. I was out with some friends at a restaurant, and one of my friends pulled it up, and the first thing I see is Debo just get fucking rocked, and he goes down for a little bit. I'm like, oh, that's it, game's over. And I come back home and I turn it on, and it's like, oh, the Rams are down, 17-10. I was like, huh, this certainly did happen. No, it was like 17-7. And then Cooper Kupp has a nice game, a nice second half. But like over the game, he had 11 receptions, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not too shabby.
Mm-hmm. Also,
then,
talking about not too shabby, the guy who, was like, give me the ball more. Odell had a nice game. 9 receptions for 113 yards. I mean, they're certainly feeding him the ball.
Yeah, I like Odell. Odell fits on the Rams. But I'm scared that the Rams are going to be another team that's going to buy their way to another Super Bowl. because they gave up all their picks for Matthew Stafford.
Well, they
They
don't have
picked
to
up.
worry about buying because they paid Odell in Bitcoin, and that didn't pan out well.
Oh yikes! But yeah, they signed Odell, and then they signed Von Miller with a lot of money, and it's like I don't know how. I don't know if they're gonna be able to bring these players back, if it's gonna hold up, and I think that they might just be another team that's gonna be like a contender but never actually win anything else.
I can agree with
So
that, but it's
this
also like it's so
this is
weird
gonna
because
be
Los Angeles teams are good, and it's strange because the Dodgers, and then they got the Rams, and the Lakers. Like,
the Lakers are not good this year.
I'm sorry,
Have you been keeping up?
I don't watch basketball. I
I
just
think I think the Lakers are under 500 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're 24 and 27.
I'm gonna be honest.
That's so
I
funny.
do know. I just know LeBron plays there.
I just
I don't watch
I
basketball.
I hate LeBron. So this is very good for me.
I don't I don't watch basketball. I don't like.
Nice.
I could never get into it. I should probably if I want to go into sports. But anyways, um, LA teams have been pretty good recently. Of course, the Dodgers. Uh, is what I'm referencing, but this is kind of I don't know because the Rams are so all in, and of course it's we can't predict who's gonna win this. Now I'm thinking about it, this is such an unpredictable season. Who would have guessed the Bengals here?
Yeah, and like I think this was such a close season. All of these games in the playoffs have been close. All of the playoff like implication games were like if this happens then this has to happen for this team to get in.
And then
And like
Pittsburgh got in.
and then Jacksonville beat the Colts in week 17 or 18 and it's like what? And like it's been a very unpredictable, very like down to the wire sort of year. And I'm a big fan. I'm a big
I
fan of
did
that.
like that, yeah. Um, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with the Rams post this season. If they win the Super Bowl, obviously they're all in worked. But if they don't, they're kind of fucked because they've been saying, fuck them picks. We're gonna go get a Super Bowl, which is
Yeah.
the like bare minimum this season. They're so all they have to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Their next first round pick is in 2024.
That's not
They
good.
don't have a first round pick this year. I don't think they have a second either. And I don't think they have a first or second in next year's draft too.
That's not
So
good.
yeah. Yeah, this is that's not good for them. But at least they get to host the Super Bowl
They
because the
do.
Super Bowl is in LA, so the Rams will be hosting it.
Um,
But yeah, this was a game. Jimmy Garoppolo
I was about to say,
is
Jimmy.
expected to be traded.
He's gotten you to two AFC Championship. He's gotten you to a Super Bowl.
No, 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 no. The defense has gotten them there. Jimmy G was along for the ride.
Okay, I'll agree with that. I like Jimmy because obviously Patriot, but
Yeah.
I don't think Jimmy's. I think Jimmy's got to be done. What I have heard though is if Trey Lance would have if Trey Lance really showed up in practice, he would have been starting some games, which he didn't. So it depends on how his progression is going. If they keep Jimmy or not. If they're not confident that Trey is ready, then they're going to keep Jimmy. But if they're ready to move on, which I'm pretty sure they're decently close to, they're going to trade him away.
I will bet you 100% that the that Jimmy Garoppolo is not on the Niners next year. I will put money on that.
Eh,
Garoppolo's saying he's going to be traded. Everyone's been like speculating the
Garoppolo
trade.
did basically say he's going to be traded.
He says he expect this is like literally an ESPN article that I'm staring at.
Go ahead.
He expects to be traded from the 49ers and he wants to be sent to a winning situation. With rookie Trey Lance coming in, there was pressure on Jimmy to perform and he did it. Plain and simple, Jimmy Garoppolo did not perform this year. Let's look at some numbers. He was 12th in yards, 17th in touchdowns, 16th tied 16th for interceptions, 13th in QBR. That is an average quarterback for a team that
went to the AFC Championship.
went to the
Or NFC Championship,
went to the
sorry.
NFC Championship. So there's some clear factors that are weighing down the 49ers, and it's Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Just plain and simple. He's not the quarterback he once was in New England when he started 2 games and then got injured. Actually, he is, because he is still getting injured. But yeah, I don't know. He says he wants to be traded to a contender.
So what is that? The
I
Bucks,
think
the Colts. I'm thinking of who needs a quarterback. Maybe the Packers.
Maybe this take might be a little hot. Maybe the Titans.
Oh.
Depending on what they do with Tannehill. Because Tannehill was good. He was good this year.
Regular season, yes.
I think we can say he was good this year. He stepped up when he had to, except in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He had a bad game against Cincy. And they still almost won it, but he had a bad game. And people like to speculate, and a lot of people don't think that he's going to be coming back to the Titans next year. But then again, I don't know. I don't know where he would go either. But there's going to be a big QB carousel this year, I think.
There is, because again, the teams someone's obviously going to Pittsburgh. They don't want to go with Mason Rudolph. Fuck no.
Dwayne Haskins.
Or Dwayne Haskins.
I think Dwayne Haskins was next man up.
Indy, the Colts are going to need somebody. I think the Broncos are, I don't think Teddy's a guy right now. I think the Vikings are a possibility because, I mean, that we can go more in depth on that, but I think the Vikings might be a spot. I think the Packers might need a spot. The Seahawks, I think Russ is going somewhere else. The Giants, I mean, I'm not sold on Danny Dimes, but I think
The Giants are sticking with Daniel Jones for 1 more year. We've already said everything about that.
Okay, well, I like that. Good for you. Good for you.
And our coach were all like, John Mara, the owner, has said, like, this is a quote: "We have done everything possible as an organization."
Oh, I know that. I've seen this quote.
Screw this guy up. Like, yeah.
I appreciate that. That's like honesty and keeping him around. I like that because he's shown what he can do. Like he's had flashes of what he can do.
He's shown flashes of brilliance. He's just had injuries to his playmakers. He's had a dog shit O-line, like a complete dog shit offensive line. Giants have had a dog shit O-line since we won the Super Bowl in 2011. But back to just the quarterback carousel. Washington is in need.
I think the Dolphins is a question. I don't think that's a huge
question mark.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions are a question mark.
The Lions are bigger than a question mark. I think. I think that that's just a statement. The Lions need to look at a quarterback situation.
The Falcons are probably going to start looking soon.
I think, and
I don't know how much.
And this isn't my take because I've heard this from I forget where. I think a team should trade for Matt Ryan. I think Matt
Ryan on the Colts would be such a good look.
I think someone should take Matt Ryan if they want to go somewhere, like Matt Ryan on the Titans, maybe on the Colts. You said those are good spots. Those are good spots. I think because Matt Ryan he's had an MVP season. He's played good this year. Because he's sitting in a shitty Atlanta team.
Yeah.
I think people could look at Matt Ryan for something. Trying to run through all the teams in my head, but obviously we said Pittsburgh, but
the Panthers.
The Panthers are gonna have to ask. Cam Newton said he doesn't want to be a part of a what do you say, a 5-12 team, which buddy, you don't get to decide that. You said there were 32 people that weren't better than you, and then there were
a lot.
there were more than 32.
Yeah. The Saints could be looking for a quarterback depending on who they pick as a head coach.
That's true. Whoever
their
their new head coach, what they think of Jameis.
There's been a Derek Carr trade rumors.
Oh,
as well.
I don't. He can't be happy about it. Derek Carr said he wants to be a Raider for life.
I love Derek Carr.
I also like Derek Carr.
Mentality. It's not like he's a good quarterback. I would say he's above average.
I would agree.
I love his mentality. Just for everything, he's like everything is such like benefit of the doubt. Like he appreciates who shows up and to play. I love hearing him talk. I really do.
And the how much like loyalty to the Raiders, because he came in when the Raiders were like and now he's started to
bad. He came in when they were bad.
Okay, yeah. And he from the get-go he's been like Raiders. I don't know what their fan base is called, but
Raider Nation.
Is it?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah, that. I think that wraps up the NFC Championship game.
The Raider, the Raider Nation. I don't like that, but
I don't know.
I think you can get that better.
We made predictions. Nacho went 0-2 in predictions. So the Super Bowl matchup he said would happen last week is the exact opposite.
I said that the Chiefs would pull it out, which they should have. And I said that San Fran was going to upset, which they could have. It was kind of close.
I picked the Rams because I'm like, there's no way they beat them a 7th straight time, right?
And it almost happened.
I'm like, it's the playoffs. They got to step up, surely. And they did enough. They definitely did enough. But yeah, let's move on to our segment of the day, because we're gonna add a little bit of spice.
An hour into the podcast, we're gonna talk about the actual thing we wanted to talk about.
Well, we've just been basically talking about just random shit. We're like, we've got to cover 2 games, and then we'll just focus on this. And it's like, let's focus on game. Oh, but this topic.
Well, there's so much to talk about in the off season. It's hard not to dabble.
I know. So there's a big game this week.
There is.
It's not the Super Bowl. It's the Pro Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many of you guys watch the Pro Bowl, but I definitely don't, because
I also don't, because it's nothing happens. Doesn't matter. But I will this year, because
I might tune in.
We'll talk about that later, but
I think I watched it I think I've watched the Pro Bowl once, and it was like 2 years ago when they had the shitty black and gold uniforms.
They've always been, regardless of the year, Pro Bowl uniforms are so bad.
Oh, hold on, I gotta pull up these uniforms. Oh, here they are. Oh, this was. Take a look at that, Nacho.
Oh, I forgot the black and gold. Yeah, those are gross.
Did they announce the uniforms for this year yet?
Did...
Oh. No, surely that's not it. I'm with it. I think I see.
Oh, they're
it's just like it.
It's
I kind of like them.
It's just blue or white.
Yeah, I think it's better than fucking black and gold.
No, yeah,
you see this shit?
These are what Pro Bowl uniforms probably should look like. I like the theme of just blue or red
or white. Yeah, I think it's clean. Anyways, let's go into some common misconceptions with the Pro Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
and how it is different from the All Pro. Because you see All Pro selection and Pro Bowl, and they're two different stats, and some people don't know what they are. So the Pro Bowl is selected a third by fans, one third coaches, and one third players. So all those groups vote, and then each of their votes are like a third of. There's some fucking complex algorithm, and that decides the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
So it's literally just like, oh, I want this, and I like this. I want to see this played. So yeah, there's that.
It's a fan competition, basically.
Yeah, it's entertainment. That's all this really is it's entertainment. Like who are the most exciting players to watch? I think that's what the Pro Bowl should be. Is who are the most exciting players?
That's what it is.
All Pro is who are the best players. Like there's like a actual committee that decides who are all pros.
Yeah, not the guys hitting the highlight reels, the guys with the high stats that are performing.
Yeah, the people who,
get shit done.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm just going to go through some notable names on the all pro list cuz I want to talk about the Pro Bowl. I don't know why, I just do. Rodgers beats out Brady for first team all pro, which I think is correct. Which essentially means that Rodgers has won the MVP award by him beating out Brady in this.
Yep.
That's so, we'll get to that. Jonathan Taylor is the only running back on this list, which means he was unanimously selected. I think he's the only person unanimously selected right now.
Yes.
Or no, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, T.J. Watt, and Aaron Donald. It's just Jonathan Taylor is the only person with a single position group, so there's no second team All-Pro running back this year. It's just Jonathan Taylor. Mark Andrews, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Debo, some linemen, T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald, Darius Leonard, Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, Jalen Ramsey, Kevin Byard, and Jordan Poyer, I think. Both safeties, I think Poyer got snubbed from the Pro Bowl, and I was very upset about that because Poyer is a very good safety.
Yeah, he's had a great season.
And he just gets snubbed from the Pro Bowl, and I'm like, that's kind of dog shit, but whatever.
I don't agree with Trayvon Diggs being an All-Pro. I do agree with him.
I don't agree with the first team. I don't agree with the first team. I think either J.C. Jackson or A.J. Terrell should have gotten the first team All-Pro. I think A.J. Terrell, because A.J. Terrell, I think, had the least amount of yards allowed, I want to say. A.J. Terrell had one of the least amount of yards allowed by a cornerback all season, and Trayvon Diggs had, like, actually the most. But J.C. Jackson, I wouldn't have been upset with either. Trayvon Diggs is just like, ooh, shiny interception number.
Yeah, he gave up
to the 1,000 yards I gave up.
He gave up plays to get turnovers, which I mean it worked, but not really.
I don't think he's a first team All Pro.
I think he made the Pro Bowl, which I agree with. Pro Bowl was fun to watch. He was fun to watch. Sure. He got tons of picks. I agree with that.
Yeah. Jamar Chase is the only rookie player to get an All Pro nod, I believe. Unless, yeah. Jamar Chase is the only rookie. Justin Jefferson got second team. Kelsey got second team. I already mentioned Brady getting second team. Max Crosby, Chris Jones, Jeffrey Simmons, Demario Davis. I already mentioned the cornerbacks. Justin Simmons, Micah Hyde. Justin Simmons, Micah Hyde, both safeties that also got snubbed from the Pro Bowl, which I don't even know how you snubbed Justin Simmons because he had a great year. But, who am I? I'm just a dude, right? I'm just a dude.
Okay.
But yeah, I like the All-Pro list better than the Pro Bowl list because it shows, who's really performing not just who people think are performing. But anyway,
let's go to the Pro Bowl.
So what I want to do, I want to compare positions from NFC and AFC.
Okay.
So I wanna list some names, and I want you to tell me which you think is the better group, and we'll tally it up. And at the end, we'll get some results, and that's officially gonna be my pick for who's gonna win the Pro Bowl. You know?
Okay.
All right. So the NFC, no, sorry, AFC. AFC quarterbacks who are going.
Oh, I'm so happy about this.
Justin Herbert is the starter.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes is going. And Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is going to the Pro Bowl.
Mac Jones
Let's go.
He made it as an alternate, and since Lamar Jackson pulled out.
And Josh Allen said no.
Josh Allen did say no.
Yeah, and Lamar is injured.
I didn't even see him on the list. Josh Allen.
No, he's there.
I actually is he?
Yeah.
Am I blind?
Yep.
I am blind.
Yeah, he just said no.
Yeah. All right.
Very happy about that. Our rookie quarterback going to the Pro Bowl.
Quarterback. I think there's only 3 rookies, and I think they're all on the AFC. I think it's Mac Jones, Najee Harris, and
Jamar
Chase. But Jamar's going to the Super Bowl, not the Pro Bowl. I don't think there's a rookie on the NFC side. Micah Parsons. That's the only one. Micah Parsons is the only rookie. So those 3 quarterbacks I said, Herbert, Mahomes, Mac Jones. Or who do you like better? Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, and Russell Wilson. Close one, I know.
I gotta easy go AFC.
That's a very easy AFC.
Yeah.
If it were not Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins, and instead Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, who were originally supposed to play, I think it would be flipped the other way around, and a very easy NFC win for that category. But no. All right, running backs. The NFC. Dalvin Cook is the starter, and the reserves are James Conner and Alvin Kamara.
Okay.
I like the James Conner pick.
I also do. He had such a good season with the Cardinals.
Up there in total touchdowns. He had a great year with the Cardinals. And then the other 2 are just like basic. Yeah, they're in. And they're gonna be against Jonathan Taylor, who's the starter, Nick Chubb, and Najee Harris, who is an alternate filling in for Joe Mixon, who is going to the Super Bowl. So Taylor, Chubb, and Harris versus Cook, Kamara, and Connor. What do you got? What do you got in this matchup? This is close.
This is close because I want to say both. Like I like either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to say the NFC just because I think Najee kind of tanks the AFC.
I was also leaning towards NFC.
Like, you have, like, solidified stars in Kamara and Dalvin Cook on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And then James Conner had, like, a really good year, and he has proven himself in the past with Pittsburgh that he's, like, a good running back. I don't know. Najee's just not it.
You know, to be fair, Najee had a good year in the Steelers.
He had a good year, yeah. But Pro Bowl?
Yeah, I'd say he made a Pro Bowl. He had 1,200 rushing yards.
Oh, I thought he had a lot. I thought he had less.
No, he was like the only one who did anything on the Steelers.
Oh, that's true. I don't know. 1,200. That's a lot more than I thought he had.
Yeah, he got 1,200.
And then pair that with Jonathan Taylor, who could be in the running for MVP, for all we know. And Nick Chubb, who I think had an okay year. Who are you going with?
NFC.
NFC?
Yeah.
I think the NFC is more reliable.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit better. Because, I mean, yeah, Jonathan Taylor, but, like, what run game did the Browns have this year? They didn't run the ball, like, at all.
Yeah, they just gave it to Baker, and he kind of turned the ball over sometimes. All right, now on to everyone's favorite position.
Mm-hmm.
If I were an NFL player, I would be this position.
It's the
In the
most
Pro
fun
Bowl.
is what I played
The
in high school.
perennial Pro Bowler, me, as a fullback.
Oh, right,
Patrick
fullback.
Ricard. What?
Oh, I thought we were going
What
to
do you think I was
receivers. I forgot fullbacks existed.
No, no. This is what I would be. I would be a fullback. Patrick Ricard from the Ravens, a UMaine graduate, I should say. Shout out to TJ. And Kyle Juszczyk out of San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he went to Harvard.
He did.
Yeah. So who's better? Who's better out of those guys?
Kyle Juszczyk. I feel like it's kind of easy.
Yeah.
I'm not calling Patrick Ricard bad. I just think Kyle Juszczyk is better.
I don't know. The Rams, or not Rams. I don't know. The
Ravens.
Ravens utilize Ricard in such a weird way. Like, I kind of like it because they're bringing back the fullback. But I don't know. It's just weird how they use him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, now on to your receivers.
Yay.
Justin Jefferson and Deebo Samuel.
Ooh.
They were both reserves, but they're going to be getting the start since Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams are not playing. And then Mike Evans and CeeDee Lamb pop in as alternates. So not a bad receiving group. They're going to go up against Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Hunter Renfrow, and Deontay Johnson. Also, not a bad group. Jamar Chase and Keenan Allen pulled out. So who do you think's better in the receiving groups?
That's a difficult question. Damn. That's actually really hard. I want to say AFC.
I was leaning AFC as well. Because you look at the first two, and it's like for the NFC, and you're like, Jefferson and Deebo, very good. Mike Evans had a decent season, and CeeDee Lamb, I don't even know how he got in. I'm going to be real. I think they were, you could have put some other names on there, and that would have been okay. And you look at the AFC, and it's like, Tyreek definitely, Stephon definitely, Renfrow deserved to be better than an alternate.
100%.
Deontay Johnson was easily the best receiver on Pittsburgh this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would lean AFC.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Tight ends. This one's
pretty easy, yeah.
Mark Andrews from Baltimore, Travis Kelce from Kansas City, for the AFC, and then for the NFC, Kittle and Pitts.
Hey, AFC all day.
It's a close one, I know. All right, we're gonna skip over offensive linemen because does anyone really care?
We love you, linemen, but you don't have like big names. I'm sorry.
Well, all the big names pulled out. Trent Williams, Tristan Wirfs, Tyron Smith, Brandon Scherf.
Oh, that's true.
Like all the big Quentin Nelson, they all pulled out.
I'm just saying,
I'll say right now, the AFC wins it. All right, the AFC's gonna win it.
Rashawn Slater, Orlando Brown, Yeah.
Deion Dawkins, Joel Bitonio,
Joe
Wyatt
Batonio,
Teller,
yeah. Like
Corey Linsley,
they,
Ryan Kelly.
yeah,
Yeah,
they win
the
those.
AFC wins it. All right. Defensive end on the AFC side. Miles Garrett and Max Crosby
Whoa.
and Trey Hendrickson, who was a reserve, but he had to opt out because he's going
Super
to the
Bowl.
Super Bowl. Imagine opting out of the Super Bowl to play in the Pro Bowl.
That's pretty cool.
That'd be so sad.
But I
yeah,
mean, it still goes down as you went to the Pro Bowl. So
yeah. Garrett and Crosby
deserve that. They deserve this.
definitely, and they're gonna be going up against Brian Burns, Cameron Jordan, and Josh Sweat, and they were gonna go up against Nick Bosa, but he will not play due to injury.
I wonder
also,
who wins this.
Oh, never mind. Oh, you wonder?
I don't know.
Is that close?
Oh, I know. It's a bit close. No, IFC. Easy.
Yeah. Defensive tackle for the NFC. Jonathan Allen out of Washington, Javon Hargrave out of Philly, and Vita Vea. They were both alternates because Aaron Donald will not play because he's going to the Super Bowl, and Kenny Clark out of Green Bay will not play as well. This is still a good group. But they're not better than the AFC, like at all. Because the AFC's DeForest Buckner, Cameron Hayward, and Jeffrey Simmons. And it was gonna be Chris Jones, but he's not playing.
Yeah. AFC. I think that's also easy. Oof. This next one, outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker. This is like the spot everyone knows.
Yeah, this is the guys who get the sacks.
This is like the unofficial D lineman.
Yeah, this you're a D lineman,
but you're not technically. But you can go into coverage if you really need to.
Mm-hmm.
T.J. Watt, Matt Judon, Harold Landry are going to represent the AFC. Was going to be Joey Bosa, but he's hurt. They're going to go up against Chandler Jones, Robert Quinn, and Shaquille Barrett.
I have to give this to AFC. I mean, oh my God, what TJ Watt this season?
TJ Watt
and Matt Judon's Matt Judon's immediate impact on the Patriots. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't understand how people are still saying Micah Parsons should win Defensive Player of the Year over TJ Watt when he literally led the league, like tied the record in sacks.
Like Micah Parsons, he's the Defensive Rookie of the Year, easy, but.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, but yeah, TJ Watt
and Matt Judon has a career high sacks. What was it, 11 or 12 and a half?
Something like that. But TJ Watt 22.5 sacks. Hi Strahan, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, he did in 17 game season." No, he missed 2 games. He missed 2 games.
Yeah, that's what all of you sound like.
For real. Anyone who thinks that the 17 game season is gonna like invalidate records is just incorrect. Inside linebackers for the NFC, Darius Leonard, and out of Indiana. Oh wait, this is the AFC. My bad. Darius Leonard out of Indianapolis and Denzel Perryman out of Vegas against Micah Parsons out of Dallas, who we've mentioned, and Devin White out of Tampa Bay, who is replacing Bobby Wagner from Seattle, who will not play.
I gotta get this to NFC.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
How? On what grounds?
how explosive Micah Parsons has been, and Devin White, he was a beast.
All right, Devin White didn't have that good of a season. Darius Leonard.
Darius
We're
Leonard.
going against the maniac. He like caused the most turnovers this season.
Did he really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he caused the most turnovers this season. And then Denzel Perriman's a really, really good inside linebacker who, a little underrated. But I guess if he's going to Pro Bowl, he's not really underrated. You still gonna stick with the NFC?
No, I'll switch over to AFC. You're right. Devin White didn't have like last season. He had a better season. He did. He obviously he's in the Pro Bowl, but
yeah. All right. On to everyone's favorite cornerbacks. J.C. Jackson out of New England, Xavier Howard out of Miami, Denzel Ward out of Cleveland, and Kenny Moore out of Indy.
Oh,
that's a good lineup. I already know. For the NFC, Jalen Ramsey's not playing because Super Bowl. And so Trayvon Diggs, Darius Slay, Marshawn Lattimore, and Stephon Gilmore are taking that spot. Close, right? I know.
All right, another one for the AFC.
Yeah, I think we know who's gonna win this. I guess. For free safety, Quandre Diggs was voted for the NFC, but he will not play. So instead it'll be, So it'll instead be Antoine Winfield Jr. out of Tampa Bay. Should have been Xavier McKinney, but I'll let that slide. And would you rather have Winfield or Kevin Byard? The first team All Pro. Tough one, I know.
So going back to AFC again.
Let me just mark that AFC. All right. Strong safeties. Now for the AFC, Derwin James from the Chargers and Tyrann Mathieu from the Chiefs. Against Budda Baker from the Cardinals and Harrison Smith from the Vikings. I know who I would pick in this situation.
AFC.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's just
how good a season did Harrison Smith have? Smith, I know. He had 16.5 sacks?
Wait, did he really?
No, that's gotta be career, right? Shit. Oh, it is career. I was like, wait, what?
No shot of C. That's Jamal Adams.
Yeah, that's Jamal Adams. That's why I was confused.
Harrison Smith,
he just signed a contract, didn't he?
He was tied 13th in the league for solo tackles. He only had one pick, but you're not getting a lot of picks as a strong safety. He only had one fumble, but again, you're not getting a lot there. 114 total tackles. Like he had a pretty decent year. And then Budda Baker. Let's go check Budda Baker's year.
Let's see. He had 3 picks.
98 total tackles. But did he miss a game? Because he's listed as injured.
He got injured against the Rams.
I forgot about that. I forgot he got like plowed over by Cam Akers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had decent years, but Budda Baker has just been like always good.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
I think Derwin James and Tyrann Mathieu have had pretty good seasons.
NFC on this, huh?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Special teams.
Special teams. Jake Elliott is kicking for Philly. Who's he filling in for? Is it Matt Gay?
Yes.
Yeah. And then Brian Anger, punting. Josh Harris, long snapper. Jakeem Grant, returner. And JT Gray, a first-team All-Pro special teamer, by the way, from New Orleans. They're going to represent the NFC. And for the AFC, Legatron, Justin Tucker. Vegas punter AJ Cole, who just signed a 4-year deal. Luke Rhodes out of Indy, who's like actually very good. Another first team All Pro, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Duvernay out of Baltimore, who had a really good returning season. And then of course Matthew
Slater. He's just the
he is just the
special teams guy, yeah.
Default special teams Pro Bowler.
This is his 10th Pro Bowl. He's used to this.
Yeah. So I think this one's pretty obvious too.
All right.
Special team battle. So that would mean the AFC will fucking dominate the NFC.
On paper, yes.
On paper?
But this has been a weird season, so no, I'd probably say the NFC would win this game.
The NFC loses?
Win. Oh, the NFC. Yeah, I'd say the AFC is going to win this game. So yes.
I was about to say. You're saying the AFC?
Yes.
Fuck you. I'm gonna say the NFC wins it.
Are you really?
Yeah. Why not?
All right. Why not?
It's not gonna go on the predictions because the game doesn't matter.
No. Yeah, it will.
Why would the prediction matter?
No, it will.
What do you mean it will?
Yes, it will. It's going in the predictions now.
I got a screenshot so I know. Make sure you don't fucking mess with it. It's not going in the predictions because the Pro Bowl doesn't. Dude, the Pro Bowl doesn't matter.
Yeah, means that it does the Minga. We're covering it, so we're doing it.
Yeah. Anything else you got to add for this episode?
Oh, jeez. What a strange season. I know we're not done yet, but
yeah, this is a strange season.
Tune in next week for a special guest. Won't reveal who that is until you gotta tune in.
You gotta also make sure you're tuning in to Minga Gaming.
Mm-hmm. All right.
The YouTube.
So you want to join us next Tuesday? We stream over on Nacho Live, the O's a 0, on twitch.tv/Nacho Live. On Tuesdays from around 7 to 9 is our starting time.
No, it's gonna be around 9, 8:30 to 9.
Well,
I have a class that's supposed to go to 7:10.
All right. Well, we usually do Mingas from 7 to 9, so that's around when.
Oh man.
And in general, that's when we do it. That also includes we could start at 9. Yeah, we upload these podcasts to YouTube, and then I do my best to timestamp them. I'm busy, so fuck you. Some of them aren't done.
That's what I'm saying about Minga Gaming.
So if you want to just go through the timestamps and hear our predictions for games or our takes on anything, just go click the timestamps. If you want to listen to these podcasts in audio only format, they're on audio podcast places. I don't know, just look it up. It's there. Not all of them, but also, again, college student, I'll do it eventually. They'll be there. We also post gaming videos on our Minga Sports and Gaming channel on YouTube. We started with some Pico Park gameplay. It's pretty funny. Anthony does a good job at editing them, so go check those out. And without further
ado,
we're ending the episode. I don't know. That was just a phrase came to my mind.
No, that was good.
It is the end of our regularly scheduled Minga, and if you have nothing else to add,
hold on, I gotta think. All right, I'm done thinking. You can.
Alrighty. Thank you for listening or watching. I'll catch y'all Mingas on the flip. Word to your mother.